This is the Blazing Show with Chris, and I'm here with Maria Kang. Maria, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Well, you're on. Welcome to the show, Maria.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, before you get into the fitness, please talk a little about yourself.
My name is Maria Kang. I have 3 children. Right now they're ages 6, 4, and 3 years old. I'm a business owner. I began a No Excuse Mom campaign. I had a photo on Facebook that went insanely viral a couple years ago. And right now I have a book coming out in the next month called The No More Excuses Diet, which will be released on March 10th.
Oh. Wait, so you say you're also a fitness mom. You've been for many years fitness mom?
I've been a fitness mom ever since I became a mother, which was in 2009.
Wow. By the way, I've heard you that this controversy that you like something about no excuse, and then like people started like getting the wrong ideas, and then like people are like well, they would just think you just messed up every time you would be like no excuse, and that was like a controversy.
Yes.
Wait, so like, can you talk about that one? The controversy that from the no excuse thing. Like, I don't think you're a bad person, but
Well, in October 2000, I want to say 13, there was some controversy regarding an image with my sons who were 3, 2, and 8 months at the time with the title, "What's Your Excuse?" And a lot of people felt that the title, the caption, and the image was fat shaming, bullying. It wasn't taken very positively with a lot of people, but at the same time, there were a lot of people who were very inspired and motivated, which is why I created the image. So the photo was viewed millions of times, and I've appeared on several shows in defense of it. But because of that photo, there was a lot of positive feedback and a movement that spurred from that controversy.
wow. I can't believe people would just think I think bad about like you just because you posting a picture, which I like. I don't think you're a bad person, but like I don't know why people took it that way. Like, why you think there was so much backlash on that? Like you weren't trying to start anything or start like I don't get it. Why do you think people took it the wrong way?
I think that it's a very sensitive subject to America right now because we're struggling with a lot of health-related issues, with the rising obesity in our country, with the levels of heart disease and strokes, and people dying from a very unhealthy lifestyle. So I think a lot of people took offense because I really was saying you really need to take ownership and accountability for your actions in life, and that's one of the things that's really going to elevate us as a nation, to take responsibility and to really identify what our excuses are and know that you are in charge of those excuses. So when I asked what's your excuse, there were millions of people who thought they had a valid excuse. One of those excuses being they're a mother, they're too busy, or they're too tired, many of the things that I deal with on my daily basis. But I'm able to overcome because I prioritize health, and I know that it's important for my family and for my community to be a healthy human being.
Wow. So you were just trying to just like try and motivate people, but like they just took it the wrong way, and that like, but like when you first had this controversy, like did you just ignore it, or just like did you let it slide off your shoulder, or like I don't think you took it personally. Like how did you take it when there was so much backlash?
Originally, I took it with stride. I didn't pay much attention to it. I had originally posted it a year prior on my Facebook page to motivate my followers, but it wasn't until the following year when the photo started to circulate again that I started to receive some really hurtful hate mail. And when I say hate mail, I mean I do get them ever so often, but this particular one was talking about how I'm a disgrace to woman and what a bad mother I was. And so I was really a little bit tired of being called a bad mother because I was a healthy human being. And that's when I took out on, went on my Facebook page and I made my first and final apology regarding that photo, which ended up being very viral. And I pretty much said what I've been speaking about in this call, which is, you can go ahead and continue to hate this image, but you will probably hate many other things in your life if you don't start to look at why you feel this way towards me, because I am able to overcome many things. I overcame an eating disorder. I've had 3 kids 3 years in a row. I don't have a nanny or trainer. I'm not getting paid to be in shape. So if I can do it, so can you. And so yeah, it's not often that I get hate mail, but when I did get that particular message that day, it did spark a reaction in me, and that reaction went very viral.
Wow. You say you had eating disorder, and then wow, that's unbelievable how you could like change your life for the better. And after 3 kids, that's like very hard. Hats off to you for that one.
Thanks.
Oh, no problem. So why do you think people just like confuse the motivation just for insults? Is it just a politically correctness thing, or because of feelings? Like tyranny is political correctness is like tyranny with manners. So basically your rights end where my feelings begin. So just because somebody could be offended or not take it well, that means like it's as if you're a criminal, but you didn't actually do anything bad to someone. They just took it the wrong way. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, I definitely think that there's something that needs to be discussed regarding being too PC right now in our society, especially with the influx of social media and how it impacts our lives. Because my photo was taken very much out of context, considering that it was on a fitness page. It wasn't actually created to, bully mothers. It was actually created because the "what's your excuse" and the "no excuse" phrase is popularly used in the fitness world. So when it goes into other dialogues on different pages, people take it personally. People think I'm talking about people who have cancer or thyroid issues or, can't walk or have some serious excuses. I never said there was none. I just said that, what's your excuse? And if you have one, good. It's valid for the majority of people. There really is no excuse. But we definitely need, in society and as a person and then as an individual, if you want to succeed in life, you can't take life too personally. You can't take the things around you too personally, because it really, most of the time, isn't about you. It's about something else. But however you react is really a reflection of what's going on in your life. So as you can see, there's a lot of people who are struggling, obviously, with their weight. It's evident in the numbers and obviously in the reaction that I had in that specific photo.
Again, one of my I was in class when my teacher's like, you can't, like, it's always gonna be offensive, but you can't take it personal. Like, so you do have a point there. As far as life changing, I don't know if you've heard of Arthur Boorman from DDP Yoga.
No.
He's basically a Vietnam veteran who had an accident. He was a paratrooper, and there was a transformation of how he was like. I think it was maybe a few hundred pounds, and then eventually it shows a video like with pictures of how hard it was for him to get better, and eventually, like, they say he was never able to walk again. So eventually he became a yoga instructor.
Oh yeah, so I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with his story. Incredible.
By the way, you've heard of DDP Yoga or Insanity or P90X, by the way?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
What's your thoughts on those? I think I like the Insanity personally.
I think that it sounds like you're a young person.
Yeah.
And I think that it really helps when you're young to complete these very high-intensity exercise programs. But for people who have injuries or postural issues or muscle imbalances, it can be very tiring to the joint and to various parts of your body if you aren't very careful when it comes to high-intensity exercise. So I'm pro anything that gets you moving, but I'm always very cautious about anything that's a generic program. I think it's important that you learn about your body, maybe find someone local who can help you understand your personal challenges and figure out your own program. But I do actually like the Insanity DVDs, but I have gone injured in some of them too. Not saying it's their fault; it's really my fault. I have weak joints. But just be careful. I think anything is a good thing as long as you figure out what works for you.
Oh, but I'm not sure if you heard of this story. I think it was from which country was it? Where there was like the world's strongest kids, and like it deal with them. Like there was a video on like two little boys who were brothers, and they from a young age they've been like bodybuilding, and that formed some controversy of whether like little kids should be into like bodybuilding, and because of like they wouldn't be able to grow taller. So I don't know, like what's your perspective on that?
I definitely think that children should not be on a very intense regimen as they grow because it does affect their growth. And you can see these examples in many gymnasts. They're a great example of this. They start at a young age. They really excel with their bodies being petite in competitions. And as they grow older, they continue being pretty petite. So they don't grow normally. And I think that that's also, we can kind of make the same case for people who bodybuild at a very young age too. So I think it's important to get your kids active. I try to have obesity on the rise. But at the same time, it's important to teach your children natural movements like running and jumping and playing and all the other things that make a body healthy besides a regimented routine found in the bodybuilding world.
Oh, before I ask about the book, what exactly does it mean? Like these speed, strive, score, but like you put them like initials. Are they like acronyms or just?
Yeah. So they are acronyms. The No More Excuses diet has really been a book that has been years in the making. Many people ask me what I've done to get in shape, and it's really tough to answer that because obviously, like I said, I don't believe in generic programs. But the SPEED acronym, which many people have heard me use in the past, is what I call the lift-off execution phase. Because I think it's important that when you want to achieve something, whether it be fitness or getting a degree or getting a job or anything that you want in life, you need to set a goal. You need to set a specific goal, a deadline, hopefully get a prize at the end. But you need to set a goal. You need to plan how you're going to get there, which is key. When we talk about meal prepping or planning your exercises, all of that is part of the P of the acronym of SPEED. And then E is the envisioning stage. And a lot of the times before I have to, because I've competed in the past too, before I compete, I envision myself doing really well in competing, or if I have to do an interview on television, I envision myself doing really well. Having that positive attitude and envisioning your success is really going to help you in the next part of this acronym, which is the execution phase, which is E again. So you got to set, plan, and vision, then you got to execute. You have to take action. A lot of people plan, but they never actually take action. So action is a huge part of your success. That consistency and habit is really going to be so pertinent to the overall result. And the last one is D, and that's your delivery. Whether it's good, bad, whether you succeeded or failed, you need to go through this process and see where you can reflect and start all over the next week or the next day or the next month. Because it's never going to be, your journey in anything in life always has to be continuously fine-tuned. So that's what SPEED is. That's the execution phase. Now, strive is more when you get into, trying to overcome excuses and challenges. And then score is when you obviously score, when you've achieved and you need to maintain. Because as many people know, sometimes losing weight or, getting your best body in terms of getting physically in shape, whether it's gaining muscle, losing fat, sometimes that can actually be the easier part. The harder part is maintaining. A lot of people gain the weight back after they lose the weight. So the score is the maintenance phase. But yes, the No More Excuses diet, which is out on March 10th, comes with 3 different cycles, and I just explained in depth what the first cycle is.
And score is basically like after.
Scores score is your when you succeeded. It's your maintenance phase. It's when you actually, you sit back and you are speculating on the reasons why you succeeded. Why did this happen? I'm a big reflection person. Then you celebrate because it's important to, not keep going because that's what a lot of people tend to do. They succeed at something and they don't really truly celebrate what they've accomplished. So I really recommend people celebrate where they've come in the last 3 months, which, my program is it runs in 3-month cycles. And then I always operate from a new perspective in terms of eating and exercising. You have to recalculate, how many calories you need. I mean, this is a lot of information, honestly, that you just have to get when you get the book, see when you get the book. But, yeah, the score is the maintenance phase, and I go into more details on what it entails inside the book.
Well, and when you go on the news and media, you've been to a lot of news shows, especially. Can you talk about some of those? Wow, you've been on because you've been on TV like a bunch of times.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on TV, various shows. I've done Nightline Prime, Dr. Oz, Today Show, Good Morning America, a couple of spots at CNN. I've done a lot of things, and I'm really proud of having the opportunity to spread the important message of health and fitness. So I've been very blessed.
And now it's the no excuse groups. So it's basically the wait. What exactly is it? You have no excuse mom, no excuse dad, no excuse runners, women, kid.
Yeah.
I thought that.
So actually, we have a no excuse. So in 2009, when I first became a mother, I started a free fitness group in my area where we worked out in the park for free. And this was important for me because I was young at the time. I didn't have any friends who were mothers, and I still needed to lose a lot of weight from having my child, and my kid was too young to bring to the gym. He had to be 6 months. And so I created this group in 2009, and we've really expanded. And when people ask what I did to get in shape, one of the things I did is I started a group, and I became a role model. And I worked out in the park for free, and so I really opened up that idea to everyone to see if they were interested in creating groups. And because of that, we have over 300 groups in 25 countries of no excuse moms working out in their local parks for free. It's something. It's a challenge to manage, but luckily I have a director. I have regional managers. I have no excuse mom experts. On February 17th, we're going to start our first no excuse kids program in Maryland, led by Kate Cole. So it's exciting. We're going to be in elementary schools now.
Wow.
Again, it's that message of no excuses and it being a positive message, not necessarily as negative as people bring it out to be, because right now we're in a state in our history, in our American history especially, where we need to be a little bit more vigilant about the youth and about becoming leaders in our community and in our home. And that's what I love about this no excuse movement. It's targeting moms and dads and kids and single women. So you'll hear more about it hopefully in the media.
Oh, and besides good exercising and also it needs nutrition. I don't know if you've heard of Vani Hari from the Food Babe.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Vani.
Oh, have you ever spoke with her? Or
never spoke with her. Although I am a fan of some of her articles. I know that she can be a little bit aggressive when it comes to food companies, and sometimes that's what we need. We need people to be very, like I said, vigilant about what we want in our foods and make sure that what we're eating is real and what we're eating is not toxic and it protects us. So I think that she's a great person when it comes to being an advocate for the rights of all of us to eat healthy and actually just real food. I mean, it's so funny. It's all we want is a real food, and yet there's so much stuff that comes in the boxes and bags that we buy at the grocery store.
Before you go, what would you like to say to everyone who's listening?
to everyone who's listening right now, this is a college radio show, right? Or
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was in college once. I mean, I want to give my age out, but I will say that it was 10 years ago. And, my passion didn't develop instantly right after having children. It actually began in college. I think those years in your life, those 20s, is such an impactful time where you develop your passion and you decide where you want to go. I decided when in my 20s, when I was working as a part-time personal trainer while attending UC Davis and studying history and political science, that I wanted to focus on fitness as my passion. And after college, I ended up getting a job as a sales counselor at a gym, and eventually as a fitness manager, then working as a project and marketing coordinator. I ended up starting my own nonprofit in 2007 called Fitness Without Borders. I left the fitness industry for a little bit because I had children, and I had to help my mother, who was very sick with health-related issues. She had a kidney transplant. But I never gave up on my passion, because your passion is often something that feeds your soul and gives you a lot more energy than you realize that you had. So at your impressionable age, in your 20s, there's a lot of things to think about, but I want you to think about things that you want to stand up for, because I believe that your character is your destiny. And if it wasn't for that groundwork in my mind, heart, and soul, that I truly believed in the idea of fitness and being healthy and active, if I didn't have that groundwork that was created in my college years and in my 20s, I don't know how I would have received all the backlash and all the hate mail and all the things that I had to do within the media and speak and defend what my message was. So this is a very great time in your life, and I really hope that all of you really take advantage of the fact that you're listening to this show right now, and that I'm speaking directly to you, and I'm hoping and praying that you find some meaning in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And buy my book out March 10th.
Oh, March 10th, and on the 15th, you said on that's you're going like around the country, at least to Maryland, for the No Excuse Kid campaign.
Yeah, well, it's not a campaign. We're starting a program in the school. Yeah.
Have you ever asked yourself what you want to do in 5 or 10 years? Recently, I've got that. Like, a few people ask me, what do you want to do in 5 or 10 years or 20 years from now? That's philosophical, I think.
I definitely think that you should be creating your 5, 10, 15-year goals. And 5 years ago, I wanted to be, 5 years ago, I had maybe just one son, probably pregnant. I wanted another business. I own elderly care homes. I wanted to be a fitness icon. I always had that in the back of my mind, that I wanted to do something big. I've always said that I wanted to publish a book. So if I were to look at my life 5 years ago and see where I am today, I'm exactly where I should be and wanted to be, because I thought about it 5 years prior. So wherever you want to do in life, you always have to create and seed that desire first and that thought, and then every day you're going to work towards it. So in 5 years from now, I'll be 40, which is going to be a crazy age. My sons will be a lot older. I hope to have a couple more books under my belt. I hope to have a successful nonprofit with operating programs in several elementary schools, and continue my advocacy for health and fitness in America and throughout the world.
Of course. Well, it was nice having you on, Maria.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No problem.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was Maria Kang, everybody. I don't get what's with people, like, it's motivating, like, motivating someone offends people sometimes. Like, I'm not saying there aren't real excuses, but she's not a bad person at all. So I don't know what's with society. That's one of the things we have to fix. But because if you're probably offended by just because someone tells you to exercise, how come Sean T nobody says anything to him, and he's just as more insane than how she tried to interpret the no excusing. And there's nothing wrong with motivating people. But the thing is, that's what political correctness does. It teaches us to, it makes us actually, it's not for good. It's for bad, because it prevents people. It takes the humanity of everything. People don't learn to be real men, real women, and that's troublesome. So I don't know what's the deal with that. We have to change someday, and we better make it soon.